All right, Shams, you're probably the only one here, and that's fine because I see you here, I think. All right. This is just a test of my system, and I love you for being here. As you can see, I have not done my makeup, and I am not going to leave this up, but I have an agenda, and I need to fix my light. Okay. Nope. Nope. Eventually, I will buy a real light. I should have brushed my hair. I don't care. This is just my first test. And I love you, Shams. Okay. So I see you. So does this count as me as one person and you as one person? Ugh, thank you. I appreciate that. I really wanted to get on here and talk about my job search, just to begin with. This morning, I have been listening to podcasts all morning, trying to get insight into how to find a job when you're my age, and I cannot believe how difficult it has been. Let me fix the light. We're going to fix that. Oh my gosh, you're all here, my friends. All right, so that's the best I'm going to get it for today. All right, guys. Ugh. All right, so future girl, I love you. I don't get to tell you that enough. I meant to tell you that earlier. You're very supportive of me, and I really appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that's here right now because I see all of the people that support me on here. I maybe open up the blinds. Okay, give me a second. Just looking at it to try to figure out what I need to change. I think the light will come from behind me like that, though. Like I said, I'm going to get a light. You can see me a little better now. I'm in my pajamas, guys. I know I shouldn't have done it this way, but I just had to break in, I just had to break in. And I figured if I got on here when I look like this and I haven't done myself up and I haven't washed my greasy hair, I've literally been applying for jobs on the internet every day from 7 o'clock in the morning till 11 o'clock at night. I have had several interviews that have turned into nothing but garbage, and I am so tired. I'm tired, and I need help. And so, Frank, I just opened the window. I apologize in advance, you guys, if the dog starts barking. He's got a habit of protection. I really was hoping to keep this small and personal in the beginning, just so that I can break myself in. This is something I've wanted to do for a long time, and I have wanted to do it for 20 years, and it's taken me 20 years and a lot of encouragement, and I really respect and love you for so then I won't delete it. All right. You know that I'll talk to you after, eventually. All right. Wait. So I started out by writing down the things that I needed to talk about. Okay. And eventually I will get a little bit more comfortable with this. I've never been in the system before. I mean, I've been on YouTube since 1998. 1998. It seems like it. Maybe. Yeah. Wow. Since I was in college, I've been on YouTube. YouTube has been up online for almost 30 years, I think. I mean, this YouTube channel I've been on since 2008, I think. But I was in the beginning stages of YouTube when it was like this, and this is what everybody did. They got on and they got out of bed and had their coffee and got online, and we all talked to each other and communicated and shared truth and what's going on around us. And that's a big encouragement for me. What's going on all around us? I turn on the TV, the news is lying to me. Just, I don't even want to get into that because I came on today to talk about my job search. No politics today. But I don't know what to do. In the United States, it is very difficult to find a job for the middle guy, the jack of all trades, the master of everything. But seer of broader horizons, because I don't want to be a slave. We live in a slave system in the United States. I don't care what anybody says. People who weren't born into a family that teaches them social capital are virtually swimming without, floaters and not knowing how to swim. It's crazy. I watched over the past 30 years, they outsourced all of our industry. We don't make anything, nothing. All of our manufacturing companies in the town that I live in now are turned into call centers and student housing. They put all the money into the colleges. Where are those kids going to work once they graduate from college? McDonald's, Boeing, the regular same names, Martin Marietta, I mean, it's incredible. But I have had five job interviews. I have made it all the way to the Zoom calls. And these people are all recruiting for life insurance. Life insurance. How many people have had a job interview for life insurance? I bet you every single person today that is looking for a job on the internet with my qualifications, which are, I've done it all. I did the fast food industry. I did the call center industry. I did the collections. I did the banking. I was refinancing mortgages for AmeriQuest without any qualifications, because that's what they do to the people in the town that I live in. I'll tell you guys about the town I live in, because I talk to a lot of you all the time about the fact that I live in the Twilight Zone. I want to tell you, I literally live in the Twilight Zone. I moved here when I was 20 years old with these prospects of going to college and, getting a good job and starting my life. And it just did not turn out that way. I'm in the Twilight Zone. So in any event, Rod Serling was born and raised here. He got all of his information, all of his, ideas came right from the town that I live in. Also, IBM, born here. During the Holocaust, nobody knew the Depression was happening up here in upstate New York. It didn't exist. Everybody in the world knows about the Holocaust, but they didn't know about it because they were benefiting from it. And so now here I am living in this town that is completely gone to shit because I don't care about it. So I have to find a job on the internet. And looking for a job on the internet is not working out for me. I'm tired. I need power, I need to map my own blueprint, and I don't know how to do it. I am doing it. I'm sinking and I am tired. And so I am coming to the internet for guidance. And also because I want to start a podcast. I want to talk about what's going on. I wanted to be a newscaster when I was a little kid once. I wanted to be everything because I had no direction and no guidance. And there are a lot of people out here just like me who are in the same boat. I am Ubering right now. DoorDash, Uber, Instacart, you name the gig job, I'm signed up for and capable of doing all of them. And I've got 5 stars on all of them, but the thing is as soon as I start doing them, it's like the whole world decides to do it and you can't make any money. I am working 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I still cannot survive. I'm sorry, Frank. My dog, who I won't have on my professional podcast that I intend on doing, because I'm ready to start being real. Let's be real, let's get real. We need to get real. We don't have any jobs. They outsourced our companies. We have to figure out other ways of doing things because they're not going to help us. They're stealing everything. All the properties around me are falling apart. I don't understand why there are homeless people. My town is filled with homeless people. If you get on the internet and you type in Kensington, Pennsylvania, Kensington, Philadelphia in Pennsylvania, that is the epitome of what is coming to every town in America if people don't start waking up. But anyway, again, that's not why I'm here. Okay, I have to stop. I want to see what you guys are. Do you have any creative skills, interests? I paint. But you know what? Creative skills aren't going to pay my bills. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Okay. All right. So my creative skills are, I can do anything. I can type like a racehorse. I don't want to make someone else money. I ran a call center out of my dining room for 2 years for a guy that lived in Connecticut. He had a small call center on St. Lucia. That is an island in the St. Thomas Islands or in the Caribbean islands. Excuse me. Anyway, I had 5 girls working in this little house. We had a little call center set up, and I was the middleman. We had 40 subcontractors. I was tracking technicians while I was calling customers and setting up appointments. And I was also bidding for other contracts. And I was making this guy all this money, and he wasn't paying me. And he was paying me. He wasn't paying me what he should have been paying me, but we were friends, and I met him through my job. I worked for DirecTV for 8 years. I don't really want to go into that with you guys on the internet, just to protect myself at this point, because I didn't leave on good terms. And because I think that actually is playing a huge part in why I can't find a job. I really do feel blacklisted. See, I had a list of things that I wanted to talk to you guys about looking for a job. Like when I was a kid, when I was in my 20s, you would go out and you would put in paper applications with companies. Then the internet came and you would send your resume, but you were still filling out paper applications and you were, going to places. But realistically, there are no places to go. A lot of you guys, all of you guys in here right now know I worked at Dunkin' Donuts for 6 years. And, I was raised in a house where everybody went to an Ivy League college, and I worked at Dunkin' Donuts. And, it's not a big deal. I was not ashamed. I got to know my community, and I was in charge of myself and my circumstances there. They were understanding it's a barista job. We were right next door to the high school, so I was helping people raise their kids, literally. Anyway, I left Dunkin' Donuts after 6 years because it became just another situation where, first of all, I didn't belong there. I was stealing some high school kid's job, you know? Anything in fast food, I would be stealing someone else's job. I am too qualified for that. So for people, their first response to say, well, just take anything, we're really past that point. Because once I just take anything, I'm working 8, 10 hours a day, 5, 6 days a week. When do I have any time to find the real job? Which isn't here because we have call centers come into this town, hire people up. They'll stick around 5, 6, 7 years if we're lucky. And then you go to work and there's a note on the door telling you that they'll send you your paycheck because everything is a Ponzi scheme in this country. Everything. Everything. Anyway, I'm sorry. I have to go for 1 second again because of the dogs. So I taught myself how to knit last night. Literally. Last night I taught myself how to knit. Look what I made, you guys. I taught myself how to knit last night. I know it sounds really crazy. I can go super fast. But I mean, anything I do, I usually only need to be trained once, shown once, and I fly at it, Jack of all trades, master of nothing, although I master it all and then I'm pushed on. Anyway, before I turned 50, I did have dreams, I wanted to be an artist, but artists don't get paid. And I really didn't have the faculties or the background to be able to do something like that usually. And I just didn't have time. I was always working, taking care of everybody, I always had the job in the car. And anyway, not always, but once I got married and had kids and all of those things, I'm just talking at this point. Oh my goodness. I can't believe all of you guys that I talk to and comment with on YouTube and TikTok every day, all day. You are all here, and I am so happy to see you all. And I'm happy for you guys to see me. I really appreciate you guys. I get really caught up in everything that's going on, but I really want a job before winter comes that I can come down here and put my cup of coffee on the table. I see people doing it all day, every day. People complaining about it, these girls with their little headsets on, got all their equipment sent to them, and they're set up like kings, living in their houses and just working. I just want to work. But on the alternate side, I would like to do a podcast, and I really want to focus it on the kids. Based on my own personal childhood and my life experience, I think I have a lot to expose. And I think it'll help some kids. So I really want to start a podcast, but I don't know how to go about it. And I'm not ready to do that until I get a job and am stable, because you see, I'm all kooky right now. I haven't had any coffee yet. And I do need to take a shower and wash my hair. And I really didn't plan on doing this, but I had to figure out how it worked, where the buttons are and how if I can read what you guys are writing and how to make moderators and how you can see who's watching you and if you can see who's watching you. And I don't think you can. And I don't know what you can do on here. I should have done this a decade ago when I had the stamina. All right, so I'm going to look at what you guys are saying because I haven't. And so literally every single one of you guys are my favorite people, and I so appreciate you. So the 3 dots on the bottom. I don't have 3 dots on the bottom. Oh, that's the trip up. I'm using a Chromebook, and I don't want to end, and I don't want to edit. Here are dots. Oh no, I don't think I want to do that. Oof. I don't want to leave you guys. All right, I should put my glasses on. But once I put my glasses on, I look like my grandmother and everything reflects off. And these aren't even my glasses. I don't know where they are. Okay, there they are. Better. Okay, now I can see. So, Shams, push what bloody button? Can you hear me? Have I been talking this whole time? And you can't hear me? Are you kidding me? You can hear me, right? Okay, you can hear me. Okay, phew. It just occurred to me like, wow, maybe they can't hear me. And I've been sitting here the whole time. All right, so let's get real. Okay, so I have applied for I think I'm up to like 462 jobs or something absurd. I'm applying for jobs in the UK, literally. I'm applying for jobs everywhere in the world. Any place that says remote worker needed, they have my resume, which I've had to change so many times. It's incredible. I will. Edit audio. I appreciate you guys. I know. So, Shams, how can I see who's in here? Thank you. I'm only this week right now, really. OnlyFans. Just yeah, they won't. No, because I've had 3 kids. I have a stepkid too. I didn't birth him, but I could use. I don't want to do that. I thought even future girl. I'm not even kidding you. I thought about phone sex operator, but I don't want to do that. That's all right. I don't care. It's the truth. And you say whatever the heck you want to say. And the only reason I'm not going to curse because I have some younger viewers who are really trying to go someplace with their channel, and I support them. So I don't want to use any foul language. But, they are old enough to be on YouTube. So, no, there's no shame in it. I agree. There's absolutely no shame in it. In fact, I would do it if I was 6 feet tall and blonde and blue-eyed and never given birth to children. But no, that's not what I want to do. I just want to type. I just want to work for someone else who I can turn my work into or answer their phone calls and do all their data entry. And, I have an excellent record as far as my work ethic is concerned. I have a problem with working too much. Um, I do too much. Every job I've ever had, I was promoted within 6 months at earliest, or you know, basically by 6 months, I'm always in a upper higher position. Um, I was managing the call center here for DirecTV. I mean, it was a smaller call center. We only had like, I don't know, 22 employees, but I, along with somebody else, we were doing payroll. We were overseeing all of the CCRs, and we were also dealing with all of the subcontractors. I was driving once a month to Yonkers to do the staff meeting with all of the subcontractors. I was keeping track of all of their equipment, all of their paychecks. And it's not just our company, it was all the subcontractors, because we were doing all their payroll too. I don't want to do that kind of hard work. Bye, We Free. Thank you so much for coming in here and supporting me. I really appreciate you. And anyone else, that left, I apologize for not saying goodbye to you. This really is my virginity break. And when I come on here next time, I will look a little more professional, and I won't be so scattered. I just really needed to do this. I wanted to get on here. And in fact, I'd probably stay on here all day. Yes, talking dirty on the phone is no big deal. I could do it with my eyes closed while I'm knitting. Yeah. I know, but I don't even know how to get those kind of jobs, because who knows? Is anybody hiring? No, I can't do that. I don't want to do that anyway. That's compromising my own inner being, because I mean, I'm a widowed married woman with 3 children. I have no business doing that business. Although I respect women that do it, hey, to each his own. Good for you. I wish I had the guts, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, it is like chatting to the public. Anyway, so does anybody know anyone in the United States that sits at home and works remotely for somebody in another country? Are other countries hiring Americans to work for them? Do you guys? You're fine. Cool. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you. But I don't even know. I've applied for all kinds of jobs. All of it is customer service, though, because that's what people are doing. I set up a drop shipping situation, but that just rolls into me having to pay for things, and I really don't have the faculties to keep up with all of that. I don't want to have to. I just want to work for someone else. English teacher, but I have to know a different language. Like, I guess I don't, I mean, I could create a position where I am learning another language while I'm teaching them the language, but I don't know if I have that kind of thing. Yeah. No, I know you meant online. You mean abroad? I hate the way I look with these glasses on, Shams. Yeah, I know, but how can I teach somebody my language if I don't know their language? I'd have to be learning their language. I don't, wouldn't I have to know their language, or could I teach somebody our language without knowing their language? Is that possible? Because I could do that all day long. Yeah. See, yeah. Like, I should have paid attention in Spanish. Honestly, when I was in school, all through school, I lived such an odd life that I got bullied so much. I was so absorbed in my mind with just getting through the day that I'll tell you what, school didn't do anything for me, Nothing at all. Everything I know, I got reading and learning on my own for the most part. Well, what should I do? Not be myself? I Google everything. Yeah, caramba. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So I just figured I would find something that I can sit on here every day and, because I could tell the news. I know what's going on in the world, but the only thing with me telling the news is I get myself shut down right away, and I, I sink before I swim. That's what will happen because the news I know isn't news that YouTube's going to let me share with people. Exactly. Lies do get you far, but they sit in your conscience. And I'm 50 years old. I don't really have any time to be messing with my conscience. I want to do something that is not robbing, lying, cheating, or stealing, which is very difficult to find these days. And in my background, I was always lying, cheating, and stealing because cable TV is lying, cheating, and stealing from people. Collections, lying, stealing, cheating from people, refinancing people's homes and helping people refinance their credit. To me, that was, there's a really gray line there. It is very gray there because you take advantage of a lot of people in that field. And usually with the collection agencies I was working for, we were what you call buying the paper. So it had already been collected on 3 billion times. The companies that it belonged to had already collected the money in insurance or however they get it. So, it was already done deal. In fact, most of the people we were even contacting probably could have called the credit department and had them take those things right off. Because after 10 years, if you hadn't paid anything on it, it usually just falls off. Okay, sweetheart. Well, you don't have to stay on with me. I'm just going to stay here and just keep blabbing, until I feel uncomfortable. um I have to adjust my mindset. Listen, I've been trying to find a job on the internet for years. And the crazy thing is I was working on the internet from home before most people even knew what working from home was. Yeah, exactly. But you know what? The thing about medical bills, that's another whole ball game. Medical bills, they can stay on your credit forever. They can collect from you forever. Medical bills are different. Medical bills and student loans and no, car payments or even medical and student, there is absolutely nothing a creditor is going to do to help you unless you come to terms with the actual credit lender. It'll stick there. You won't ever be able to get the credit reporting agencies take that off. I'm sorry. So yeah, and the thing is, calling you 3 times a day, they are allowed to do, but after that, they can't call you. So if that is a lie, you can just get that removed. It's so easy to fix your credit, guys. Okay, now I'm going to give free credit advice. If you don't know about Credit Karma or one of those agencies, they are so dependent on you to be their customer that they will do whatever they have to clean your credit for you. Life is much harder in the States right now, but it's on purpose. I know it is. I watched it happen. When I was working for the collection agency, I did that for like 7 years. Um, yeah, I did that for almost 7 years. We were collecting on paper that was probably illegal to be collecting on, number one. But that was what was left in the state. Um, call centers. You ask anybody at my level, of education, what they've done for a living, and every single one of them is going to tell you that they worked in a call center, at least here in New York. Call centers are a big thing. They're turnstile. And then you have home health aides, which pay the same, and you're taking care of people. And that's anyway. I don't want to leave the house to do all of that stuff. I'd rather drive my car and work for myself in that case. Um, You're going on live now? Oh. Well, I'll turn you. Oh, I see. You can rock. All right, cool. I could do that too, probably, actually. I get it now. I'm with you. I have to go get the dogs in. So there's 9 people in here. Of the 9 people in here, I see 265 Hemi, Duck, Future Girl. I'm going to figure this out right away, you guys, because then when you guys come in here, this will just always happen. And I didn't mean to do that one. And I did. I didn't mean to do that, but you've got it now. There. See, I had to do that. That way when I come in, my homegirls will have access to that. Just because you guys can, I don't even know what you can do because I've never really checked that stuff out. Anyway. Shams, tell me, what time were you rock? Well, you see, I made you a moderator just because I plan on doing this more and more and more. So, and I have love for you. See, so then if that's the case, that you can just have them take that totally off of your credit then, if that's on your credit report anyway. Anything on your credit report you can have removed. You can just call or write to Equifax or Experian or TransUnion, one of the 3. You want to write to all 3 of them usually, but you can just write to them and then tell them, that's not mine. I want proof of the bill. And if they don't provide it to you within 30 days, they have to drop it off. So just get all that stuff off your credit. Don't let it sit there and ruin you. Are you working on the house right now, Shams? It's sort of, I have to clean and I want to do it before you go live. And what time you're supposed to go live? My time in a minute, right? Yeah, well, go clean then. I'm going to keep doing this and I love you for coming here and I appreciate your support. Go. 8 your time. So it's 3 my time, I think. Yeah, it's 3 my time. So in a few hours. So go take care of your business. 2 hours. So go take care of your business. I'm going to mess around on here and I'm going to sit here live and see if other people come in. And I'm really flattered and blessed to have all of the people who have come in, and I will take it, more serious. You want me to speak real loudly? That's so cute. Well, like I'm doing fantastic on my TikTok. I need to make some TikTok videos for TikTok. Oh, gotcha. And I'd like to get on to TikTok and do like a TikTok cover. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. I'm gonna. Somebody told me that you're not supposed to. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Duck. Unknown caller. I am a DoorDash driver. Trust other DoorDash drivers delivery food because I see all these videos on Twitter. I don't order takeout food ever. I don't eat out. I don't eat other food that other people have touched or have been processed by other people. I'm getting weird in my old age. My gut isn't made out of steel anymore. On on the Idaho DoorDash. My view on what is going on in Idaho aligns with what my view is on what went on in Aurora and in Las Vegas and now in Maui. And as far as the 4 a.m. DoorDash driver, well, DoorDashers dash all day and night. So, I mean, it's plausible. But I don't believe what the DoorDasher was saying. I don't. You want me to tell you? I'll get shut down if I start going into it too much. I know I will. Just because I'm not supposed to talk about those things. In America, we are censored. And I am very well aware of how the censorship algorithm works. I am very well aware. My opinions are we are all being bamboozled. That's my opinions. I think it might go all the way down to the very root of it. I mean, I bet you they're all walking around in their regular lives, doing their own thing. I mean, I don't know. I think everything that comes off of the television is made for TV. Take that for what it's worth. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know the words for sure. And as I stay on YouTube longer, I'll learn them easier. TikTok is very different because TikTok has really opened up the realm of allowing people to say what they're thinking. Doesn't always stay up for very long, but they allow it. Hey, thank you very much, News You Can Use. You rock. I appreciate you coming in here and listening to me. I can definitely share some news, like what's going on with the CNN syndrome right now, and all of that stuff. So, my disclaimer is this is for entertainment purposes only. I did put it in my description, but this is for entertainment purposes only. This is only my opinion based on my own research from the internet and other forms of written and verbal dialect from other humans. My opinion, not actual news. And this is for entertainment purposes only. I mean, I'm here to entertain you. If I can't find a job, then I'll get on here and clown for you. But my disclaimer is people, places, and things that might be even slightly or remotely close to what I'm talking about. I am sorry, but this is not about you. It's not always about you. Sometimes we just need to get on here and make it about all of us. And so I want to entertain you. So like I said, it's my opinion only. But I think that I've been blacklisted. That's the truth. I mean, I really do. As far as getting a job locally for any reputable business, I think I've been blacklisted because I took out a civil rights suit against my last employer. Not my last employer was Dunkin' Donuts. My employer before that, in my professional realm, in my position as a administrative assistant in operations. They all use the same kind of software. Everything is run the same way these days. But anyway, in my last official position, I was really bullied, and it just got to the point where I was going to work every day. I was making more than anybody in the office, but I was just being really abused. And I don't know how that whole thing works, and I don't want those people trying to use this to turn around and sue me. So I don't really want to talk too much about that. I never signed anything and I never agreed to anything. And in fact, I was supposed to receive a formal public apology, but they paid me what I asked for, which was stupid. It was really stupid. When you sue somebody, don't let your ethics stand in your way, because I found out after the fact that somebody else had sued this person and place for the same thing, and they walked away with $500,000. And you know what? Silly me, I didn't know. And I really just wanted to be acknowledged for being abused. And I got 30 grand. So stupid. Anyway, I had to use it to pay the lawyer and, pay all the debt I racked up from going through all of that. But it did win, and that company no longer exists. They ceased to exist, which wasn't my agenda. My agenda was not to lose more jobs for the area, but that's how they went about it. So that's why I'm blacklisted, because people think that I will tell on you. If you have me doing something that is not ethical, or you do not treat me like a human being, then I will address it. And I'm sorry, but that's the way the world is. And if you don't like it, then get out of it. And if I don't like it, then I can't find a job. I understand. I get it. But I grew up sort of blacklisted my whole life anyway. So I've always been the outcast. I got bullied in school because they didn't understand my situation. I was a little Mexican girl who didn't even know what my nationalities were, growing up in a household with Chinese, Portuguese people that I only lived with for about 11 years. And they were very good to me, and they are my family, but I was adopted. I know all of my family now. So I have anyway, I only have responsibility to the people that love and support me at this point in my life. And the people that love and support me, that is my family. And a lot of people have that kind of family. I've been homeless. I've lived on the street. I have worked myself up from dirt to, having a pretty nice place to live and usually a nice car, but I can't ever keep it. I get it. I get up, I get up, I get up, I get up, I plateau, and I go, and that's what's happening right now. So 3 weeks ago, my car broke because four people that each weighed approximately 200 to 300 pounds each got into my car and they broke it. And without question, they did. So anyway, I haven't been able to drive it because it's almost like it's stuck in low gear. And I've tried to resolve the situation, and I can't afford to, because just that's how the cookie crumbles. So I'm sitting here now. I just paid my car insurance. My car payment is late. It's just crazy. This is everybody's life. Everybody in the United States is experiencing this. I see it all day long on TikTok. Girls crying, not sure where they're going to live next month because they can't afford to pay their rent, because even the paychecks that they're bringing home are not covering their basic necessities. I went to the grocery store just the other day, $70. I came home with a case of water, a container of ice cream, 6 cans of dog food, a thing of soup, and a thing of cereal, and 2 bags of donuts. That's junk food for my stepson. But anyway, $70 doesn't do anything. It gets you in the door to the grocery store now, and some water. That's crazy. But taxes and inflation, and it's all on purpose. I mean, it's all on purpose. You can't just have things going one way for 20 years and then all of a sudden everything just costs this much. Well, part of it is because they sent all of our companies to third world countries where they could take advantage of those people, pay them nothing, or pennies on the dollar, which the dollar isn't even worth anything anymore, right? But pennies on the dollar. And they knew what they were doing when they outsourced all of our industry. In my little town, we used to do our own farming. We had our own dairy company. People in this area, you might have heard of them before. We had Crowley Milk in upstate New York, and they just got rid of all of it. Tyson Foods, we had chickens, we had it all, and now everything we have coming into town is coming from Cuba or, other countries. It doesn't make any sense. If you look at the back of the ingredients and the disclaimers on your food, all of our food is being completely poisoned. What's up with that? That just started recently too. What is that? What is that? Why? Because they just need to make this experiment that we all know is in effect go through. Why? Why are we letting this happen? Well, I am just a little person. I am a figment, a particle of dust. And all I want to do is make sure that in the upcoming years, the world is safe for my kids. I've 3 kids. They're angels. My kids are so perfect. They're such perfect human beings. Like I could only wish to be as perfect as my children have turned out. They are just so smart and kind. And, they're all older. They're all in their 20s and 30s, but how can people be so perfect? Anyway, I have to do what I can to protect that. That's why I wanted to get on the internet and, share my life story. I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to bring the dogs in. The mailman can't come if you guys are out there giving him a hard time. All right, I'm on the internet. It was something I wanted to do forever, but I've been too shy and reserved and afraid that I'm too funny looking to get on the internet. I thought I was not good enough to get on the internet to show my face. I've been so scared to show my face because I don't like the way I look or whatever it is. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. I really just don't know what else to do. I don't. If you need an administrative assistant who will stay up day and night to make sure that all of your I's are dotted and your T's are crossed and all your emails went out and all your social media is up to date and the simple things, I can do data entry tomorrow, I'll take all your calls. You just send me the phone. I'll set it right up in my office, which is actually upstairs away from the dogs so that they don't interrupt. They do want us addicted to anything. I agree. I agree. I don't, future girl, I never asked you this, but can I ask you how old you are? You're done hovering? All right. I was just wondering how old you are because we've been talking to each other. You don't have to tell me right now. I don't want to know right now. You can tell me in private or in a private show. But yeah, we've been talking to each other for almost 2 years now. Hi, Bobby Broadway. How's it going? I'm just on here discussing the fact that I can't find a job. It's not that I can't find a job. I'm looking for a job. And this is really, this is a new world for me. it used to be that you used to have to like you remember, I don't know if you guys remember it, like pound the pavement, get out there and pound the pavement. And my dad used to say that, get out there. It doesn't matter what it is. Just put an application in everywhere you go. It doesn't matter if you're qualified for it or underqualified for it. Just take anything. We're past that just take anything phase, because if I just take anything, I'm away from the house, and I still can't afford to pay for it. So what's the sense of spending 10 hours a day, 5 days a week, away from my house to not be able to pay for everything anyway? It's an oxymoron that I'm tired of subscribing to. I'm tired of it. I'm tired. You see, it gave me wrinkles in my forehead that I didn't have. Anyway, never leave without a plan. Bobby, I did feel that way for a really long time. I was really tired of working for other people too. And I worked for myself for a while. And I'll tell you what, that's another whole, it's another whole scasm of headaches. You have to, you're 42. So, I have 8 years on you. You can easily work for yourself. This time, being a 1099 is so easy. It is easy. Making money is a different question, though. Everybody wants to be in the gig game. And I guess for all technical purposes in the gig game, you're still not really working for yourself. At age 42, I was working for myself. I lived someplace else. I had a home office in the back of our house. It was built in. It was like it was meant to be. But I had just resigned from my job with DirecTV. And one of the subcontractors came to me and he's like, look, I really love your voice on the phone. Do you think, you could do this? You just do my dispatching for me. And then the next thing you know, I've got his whole office set up in my house and I'm managing this call center on St. Lucia. They're dialing in, I'm dialing in, we're doing our Zoom calls. And we had a couple contracts. I had a contract with 2 companies that were really awesome people. But, my partner, who was in Connecticut, he ended up not paying me the way he should. Like when he got paid on the contract, he wasn't paying me. And because I was making pretty good money, I inspired you. No, you inspired me. But I had to get out of that one. Working at my last job, I had a 20-year-old girl. Okay, so when you work as a barista for Dunkin' Donuts, you're allowed to get tips. And I worked for Dunkin' Donuts when I was 17, 18, 19. And then, I went to school and I got other jobs. And so after all was said and done, and it was time for me to DirecTV's all put away. It's time for me to look for something that, that is, I could just go to work, do my job, work as hard as I can, come home, and on Friday or Monday, whatever, I have a paycheck. That was what I was looking for. That's what I needed. I just needed to be able to clear my head and not have to think for 100,000 people. So anyway, at Dunkin' Donuts, I was there for 5 years. In the first 3 months, I got a promotion and they made me a shift leader, which basically means you get to tell everybody else what to do, and it's sort of silly. It's all just, there's always needs to be a hierarchy in this human game we're playing. And it's absurd because a lot of people on the hierarchy have no business up there, none. Because for example, at this Dunkin' Donuts, I had this 20-year-old girl. All of a sudden, she swoops in and she's stealing my money. She demands that I'm a night crew person. I go in, there's usually one other person there with me. We're running the whole show, in which we used to get really busy lines out the door because it's right next door to a high school and right across the street from a Wendy's. So, we were always busy. Like as soon as I got to work, I had to just bang things out. The restaurant was always a mess. The double sinks were always full of dishes. The bake was never done. Nothing was ever stocked. And I would get in there between 2 and 3 every day, and I would get all that stuff banged out. I would make sure that store was spotless before I left at night. And I was doing the work of a pauper. And you know what? It is not a work of a pauper in the United States anymore. The hard workers, those people doing what I was doing, those people are the commendable ones. Anyway, it is a shame. It is a shame. Frankie. Anyway, so this girl demanded that I leave my tips overnight in the safe, uncounted, so that she could count them and then dole them out as she saw fit. Well, at first, there was 20 other employees there. All of them were under the age of 25. So I didn't take it personal, I figured, whatever. Anyway, so I participated. But I'm not going to have all of my regular customers that I've been catering to for 5 years, who put money in that jar to make sure that I have gas in my car and I get home or whatnot. They were giving me the tips. I'm not going to put that in that safe without counting them. And there's no law that says that I have to. In fact, the law is quite opposite. Their demands were illegal. But I went along with it because it was working, trying to get things in order for them in the daytime, because I guess they obviously couldn't get anything shaped up in the daytime because it was a mess every day. So anyway, every time I went in, they were less and less and less. And that was it. I just, I went to the owner and I told him, and he didn't want to get involved with that. And, it was just so unprofessional. It was just such an unprofessional scene. And I did it. And I cried to Shams. I did. Every day you told me to leave that place. And I had 3 people OD on, they're doing Flocka. What is it they're doing right now? I cannot believe I blank. It's not heroin. It's what they're putting in everything now. All the drugs that everybody's doing. Our chemical war over here is so bad, you guys that aren't in the United States. Birdie! Hi, Birdie! Hi! Oh my God, I'm so happy to see you. Another one. Oh, and I didn't even see you, modus operandum. How long have you been in here? Hi. Hello. I'm not meaning to be such a whack job, but hello. Yes, fentanyl. I've lost friends who have died from this nasty, nasty chemical war that I've been watching happening all around us. And it's really scary because so many people in this country are in denial. They're coming at us from every single direction. All I want is a stupid job. Oh, hi, Birdie. I got on here because I have been applying for jobs for 3 weeks now. My car broke and I can't Uber or DoorDash, and I really need to pay the bills. And so I wanted to get on here and just share with my community how my job search has been going. If you're looking for a job in the United States on the internet, I highly advise you to stay away from recruiters, because that's just a job in itself. Unless you're applying for the recruiting position, that's all these people are doing. Is it's like a sheep turnstile. They're just sending people through to these interviews, to these life insurance agencies, or life insurance I got, nice. And the thing is nobody wants to be upfront with you about what they're doing until you run through these series of things, the gamut of different little hoops they want you to jump through. So I am assuming that by them getting you to jump through those hoops, that's helping them to make their commission or whatever's going on there. But yeah, I can't work for a company that I have to pay into to get in. And I do not want to get into a company that is selling something because everyone that is working there is only working there because they can't find another job. So we're all out here calling the elderly to impress upon them how bad they need life insurance and all of that. Life insurance is a very important thing. If you fall into that bracket of if you're in that world right now, I can barely keep $100 to my name. And it's been like that for a while. As soon as I get paid, the money goes out. I mean, I'm paying for rent, I'm paying for groceries, I'm paying for this, I'm paying for this. I got to pay for that and that and that and that and that. And by the end of the week, there's no that for me. And my luxury in my life is my dogs. My dogs are my luxury. Recruiters are just stealing parts of your, and then top it off, that I learned that because I actually, a few years back, right before, or no, actually right after I stopped doing the gig on St. Lucia, he and I had a really bad falling out because he wasn't paying me, and I'm not going to work for 16 hours a day for free. I was literally, my family, I was sleeping on a sleeping bag in my office to make sure that if a customer called, a DirecTV customer called in the middle of the night and they needed anything, I was there to help them. I made sure when we said we had 24-hour a day, 7-day a week call service, that was me. Okay. The girls on St. Lucia would hang their phones up every day at 5 o'clock and go home to their families. I shut those phone lines down and took them over for myself. I did manage to talk one of my best friends into coming to work for me, and she stuck it out. She worked for me for 8 months, and I don't think I paid her a dime, and I owe her my life. I really do. I owe her my life. Okay. But anyway, so just getting back to the recruiters. The recruiter hired me for an 8-week contract to go into it was New Channels at the time, formerly known Spectrum or whatever it is today. But they had me go into their billing department to fire people. They hired me for a contract from November to January to go in and clean out all of their equipment and put all of the equipment that was loose into the database. Because, here in the States, if you go into like a cable store, you can bring in your equipment and they take it and they just throw it in a box and throw it out back. So they hired me to catalog all this stuff they had. And, it was no problem to me. I was done with it quick. So once I finished all that, I was like, well, I still have, another 6 weeks on my contract. What else do you want me to do? So then that was the next phase. They were like, okay, well, we want you to fire this person, this person, this person. So I was the call-in scab, because that is what that is. When these recruiters are hiring people, and scabbing is still something, and the country doesn't talk about that anymore. When you take a job and when you go into a town to take a job because the people in town don't want to work that job because they're not getting paid enough, and then you truck into the town and get paid $40, $50 an hour to steal that person's job, that's called a scab. And back in the day, scabs didn't make it too far. Nowadays, everyone wants to be a friggin' scab. Why? What's wrong with you people? Man, scabbing is disgusting. Shams, have you ever heard of scabbing? It's disgusting. It's a disgusting, vile participation. And everyone in the United States that is doing that to the people, when you come into town and take someone's job, you're a scab. You're a scab, you're a scab, you're a scab. I'm sorry. You don't know what it is? Okay, so what it is okay, let's take nurses or doctors, for example. Okay, because that's what they're doing right now. But, usually the reason why they use the word scabs, the union Teamsters made that up back in the day. But basically, the unions used to fight for the rights of the employee. They made sure that you were getting your 401k and your health insurance, and that if you called out and were sick, you didn't get, any kind of disciplinary action against you. Friggin', oh my goodness. Anyway, so what they would do, I believe it started, like, it came to my attention back during when Motor City was falling apart, and people, the Teamsters are serious business and they didn't mess around. And so if you went into Detroit and stole a job from one of the warehouse workers, because that's what they did. They would have scabs. There would just be lines of them who would pour in and steal those manufacturing positions from the people that live in town. And it was like, if you don't want to work for us and do exactly what we say and how we say it and take exactly what we're going to give you, then screw you. We're going to bring someone in from 5 states away and pay them 3 times as much until you shape up and do what we want. That's what is going on. I mean, literally, slap on the hand. They're like, you're not my parents. And it's the same people that got the bailouts, It didn't go to Motor City, because if you drive through Motor City, it doesn't look any much different than Kensington, from what I believe. I mean, things might have changed, but there's this guy on the internet, Chosen One, and he likes to go. He used to. I don't know what he's doing with himself right now, but Tom, he is an all right guy. I think he's a pretty cool guy. I mean, there's a lot of people that have made videos about him, but everybody is jealous of somebody else's, good fortune. And, Tom, when he got on here, he was going into the trenches, okay, and meeting with the street people and the street girls. I don't really want to use the word, because I don't like to label anyone like that. It's just mean and wrong, and nobody is doing anything at their own mercy these days when you are on the bottom rungs. Most of those people are homeless at this point. But Tom would go into town and he'd bring these girls donations. And, I mean, that's a good thing to do. But nevertheless, that's how I got to see what Motor City was looking like. And it's horrible. America should look like Dubai. I figured by the time I was 50, America would look like Dubai, not us all, running around. I try to stay away from bosses, but I am not resourceful enough to be able to figure out the puzzle piece I need to figure out, so that I don't have to be somebody's stepping stone. I'm always somebody's stepping stone. I'm so tired of it. When I was married, my husband was a union carpenter, and I would make sure that he got up. I would be flipping over the mattress and throwing water on him, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 years old. I pushed my husband to become a journeyman carpenter when he was into it. He was successful because I helped him, and he admitted that, and he knew that. And, I mean, anyway, he has since passed away, and it is still sort of a sensitive subject, just because I'm angry with him because I don't know how to do some things that he did, as my friend. If anything, we had some angel children, and he was my friend. We didn't always see eye to eye, and anyway, I agree with you that I should stay away from bosses. But at this point, I don't, like I said, I don't know how to go from point A to point B. Like, how are people, like, what do you do when your car is broken and you're Uber driver and you don't have a pot to piss in, so you can't fix the car that you just spent $2,000 to fix to begin with in the last 8 months. Look, I had Firestone put on 4 brand new tires. One of them has been leaking air ever since they put the tire on. I had my catalytic converter changed. Now I sort of think I might not have needed to. I think it might be electrical, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, like I said, I just want to sit here or behind this and do somebody's administrative or call customers and, tell them, that, ask if their refrigerator is running. I don't know. Make sure that they're happy with their insurance and don't need an upgrade or whatever the case might be. You were a master carpenter. Yeah. Well, we've actually talked on the phone, I think, before. Divorced, we were not, for our kids' sake. He did his thing, I did my thing. We had an understanding, and at the time of his absence from this, his exit from this universe, we did not live together. But we decided that, we came to this conclusion that marriage was it was just a great big one more game. It's just one more paper game for them to use us to make money somehow. It just, the marriage tax when I was married was just absolutely horrible. Like, we never received any kind of earned income credit. Like, we saw our friends around us coming home with 12 grand, 20 grand, for their kids. And we never saw any of that. I never, I've never been on welfare. I'd live on the street or, with a friend or something. I've never been eligible for any of that stuff. I've always made too much or haven't been out of work long enough. And I hate the way those glasses make me look. But I can't read what you guys are writing. The glasses make me look like my grandmother. It's so weird. Anyway, this is my morning look, guys. I want to have the newscaster look. And when I get my guts up, I want to, sit behind my computer and tell you guys what's going on over here in New York, because it's not good. It's not good at all. And what's going on over here in New York has been going on since 1998. That's when upstate, where I am, it took its, kick down. And then they started talking about fracking and just all this stuff. And they took our dairy industry away. They took away all the jobs. And that was during the time when I went to work, and I worked for Dial America. I worked for Dial America, Telespectrum, Synergy, because what happens is, it's not that I left each job, it's that the job left here. Like, I had the job and I was doing the job, and then just one day you go to work and there's a big sign on the door that says, "Sorry, we left, and we'll send you your paycheck." That hasn't happened to me once or twice or 3 times. 3 times. Because I live in a county that companies know that they got good manpower here, and everybody needs a job. So they'll set up a call center. They'll hire 100, 170 people and give you a good job, paying you, $14, $15 an hour plus commission. And then, they stay long enough till somebody, the FTC or FCC, catches on that they're breaking this law or that law, and then they skate to some other state. But when you do a little research and you look into like their mother companies, no, there isn't nothing left to fix. You're right. And what was left to fix, they made into student housing. Here anyway. I don't know where you are. How about where you are? Yeah, nothing left to fix here. And they're making it nearly impossible to live. Like, when Canada's Kevorkian law is put into place as compassionate care, we're definitely in the twilight zone. Like, are you for real? Do you know what they did to Jack Kevorkian? Just the way that they treated that guy for so long, because he was trying to help end of lifers, like people who were like barely living, like on the edge, like in pain all the time. He was helping them with a compassionate way of exiting this universe. Well, that was illegal back in the 80s and the 70s, 80s, and 90s. All this stuff that was illegal back then, it's like embraced now, like propaganda on your TV. Like, they made, like, when I was a kid, to put propaganda on TV, you would get in trouble. You would like get sued. You would go to jail. It was against the law. And nowadays, it's not only pushed, it's encouraged. And get on there and lie for us. And the best liars live in the best. Why is that? Why are the best, most jaded, most horrible human beings in the world living the best? Because they're not elite. I'm tired of that whole, that whole classification is not fair. They're not elite, Anyway, I guess I'm going to start rounding this down. I'm really, really blessed to have you guys that came on here to support me today. And when I come back, I will be a lot more comfortable and able to deliver my message with a more gathered, I really just came on here to tell you guys that I have had so many job interviews and they all end up being a scam, or, this one makes way too many demands for wanting to pay me $14 an hour, and $14 an hour on a W-2 job is like just like $10 an hour after taxes. Who can live on that? I can't even eat on that at this point, and you guys can't either, so I don't know. But anyway, I can't sell knives. I don't know how. And so if you guys have any really awesome suggestions on how I can get a job really fast before it snows, it would be greatly appreciated. Is there anything, you guys that are left here? I got a message. I believe that Shams' show. What time is Shams' show supposed to start? So anyway, you guys, I am going to go and get ready for my favorite influencer to do her thing. She is doing Reddit reviews, and she's killing it, and it's fun, and we're having a good time, and I really support everything that she's doing. Shams used to have a really, really large following, and because she likes to step out of step and tell the truth, she has a tendency of she gets herself in trouble. So anyway, she's had to restart her whole world, and bye Birdie, I'm leaving too, honey. So anyway, I support Shams Don't Care's channel. I would like to see a lot more people getting onto these Reddit reviews because they're really fun and we're having a good time, and she's doing a killer job at it. So thank you guys for coming on and supporting me, and I really appreciate you all, and I'll see you guys later. And please like, sub, share if you aren't, although everybody here is. So I love you for that. And hey, you guys, have a good rest of the afternoon, and I'll see you soon. Bye.